I think this is working. Let me just double check. I think this is working. Double check. Good morning, everyone. It's been a while. So I was on vacation. As you know, it was Labor Day here in the States. So I was out for the weekend, and finally back in. But day here, so just making sure that everything is working correctly. That I have my internet up and running. Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? Um, yeah, long time no see. People think that I've been AWOL because I've had a few losses here and there, and that's just not how I roll. If I'm like losing really bad, I'm not going to disappear off the planet, off the face of the earth. That's just not how I roll anymore. Um, so for those of you that think that might happen, please realize that that won't. Yes, it really does suck to show your face when you're having losses because you don't want people to pick on you. But honestly, I think I've moved past that at this stage. So yeah, we're in profit this week so far. I'm gonna pull that up for you now. Okay, so we're at 8.48% profit so far since I started back on April 7th. And today we've had 0.12% profit. Let me just double check to see if that's changed. Okay. I'm in a trade right now on the pound, looking for just 10 pips. So things are looking pretty decent for this week. Nothing too crazy yet. And the MAM is looking okay this week as well. So still trading the MAM, and the good boy recovery MAM. Now Nick did close that thread. He closed that thread because the crazy talk that happens on that thread whenever somebody has a loss or something goes wrong. I had a loss, but instead of taking a 42% loss on my UJ trades, I took a 25% because I knew that I could make 25% back. But a 42% hit means that basically the account would be gone and potentially closed. I wanted another shot, and so that's why I closed the UJ trades at 5% instead of 7 on my main account, which was 25% instead of 42. So I made a call. I wanted to close those trades at 2% loss. But the MAM was holding me back. I admit it. I admit that the MAM account, the recovery MAM at 6 times risk was affecting me closing my trades on my main account. I would have closed those at 2% loss, which would have been about 12% for you guys. Yeah, I would say it was a mistake. I allowed the MAM to affect my main account trading, which is not where I wanted to go. So I have made a promise to myself that I'm not going to allow that to happen anymore. It doesn't matter if the loss is 42%, if it's 10, if it's 20, whatever it is. I'm just going to take the trades on my main account, and I won't ignore the MAM, but I'm going to make sure and not allow it to make decisions for me in the future. Excuse me, let me drink some water here. So we're pushing forward. We have a 0.86% profit for today and 1.36% for this week, even with the holiday from yesterday, which was low volatility. So we're looking at an okay week start so far. It's a slow recovery whenever a loss happens. Remember, it was at 25%, or more for that matter. And I was able to Yeah, I was at 22% in the hole, and was able to bring that up to 18.95 just from Friday, or the September 1st. That was Thursday. So Thursday until now, I was able to bring in close to 5%. Looks like about 4%. Okay, so let's get into the charts now. Make sure there's no questions here. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the news for this week. Usually that's what I do on Monday since I missed yesterday. What's going to affect the market, what's not, at least in my opinion. Okay, so we're on Tuesday, so Australian cash rate, no change. Didn't affect things too much, although the Australian dollar did, I believe, rise during that news. We have the PMI, which is at 10 o'clock, so in the next 20 minutes. I don't think that's going to affect things too much. The expected rate is not too different from the previous. So I'm not expecting a lot of volatility at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not so sure about the GDT, if that's going to really affect the NZD or not. And this should potentially affect the CHF. When Jordan speaks. The GDP on the odd Australian dollar is why I didn't take one of the trades this morning. It's because the GDP is coming out tonight, and that will likely affect the pair, and that it should show some volatility. Which way, I don't know. We have some pound news this week. Manufacturing and inflation report hearings. I'd expect some volatility with the GPP. Oh my gosh! Wow, the pound. Wow, seriously, I must be tired. The cash, the CAD is going to have some volatility as well this week. So keep an eye on that, especially on Wednesday. Keep your eyes on your trades. For some jumps, just in case anything drastic happens. So we're gonna have an ECP press conference this on Thursday. Now we all know that when those press conferences happen, most of the time, at least in the last while, they've been really volatile, causing lots of craziness to happen. And the minimum bid rate, although it's not expected to change, I guess there always could be surprises. Crude oil almost never affects the volatility of the market, at least not in a big way. And then Friday, of course, there's not a lot of news happening except for on the CAD. So heavier news week for the Australian dollar and the CAD, and some minor news on the pound. Not a lot happening on the USD. There is an ECB press conference on the euro, so I'd expect some potential movement on that later this week. Robert FX, yes. One of the CAD trades did close out for a small loss, but that's just that's normal. That's my that's how. Robert FX, yes. That's how my trading strategy works. That is basically basket trading. So I can show you that now. So one trade closed out in loss at $3.25, and the other trade closed out at $11.92. What that transferred out to be on the MAM account, or on people's personals, on my personal account at least, was a 0.13% profit and a 0.03% loss. That's fine. Yeah, that's still an overall pip gain, and because the risk was different from the first trade and the second trade, I came out with a decent amount of profit on those two Euro CAD trades. So yeah, it's completely normal, Robert. You expect that to see some of that in the future. So I'll have some losing trades and some winning, but the winning trades will be more when they're all closed out at the same time. Yes, exactly, Robert. Okay, so we're in a pound USD right now. Now, I took this trade based on the 1 hour. It was a decent trade. There's, let me see if I can get my marker going here. Hold on, guys. All right. So here there was a 1 hour inside candle, and then here as well. So I took it near this second inside candle, or yeah, near the second one. I was also keeping an eye on the 15-minute time frame. Now, that's something that's maybe a little different for you guys. I'm going to be looking at the 15-minute time frame for possible re-entries. Now, they might be in some cases a little bit tighter on the spacing between the trades, but I really like price action on the 15-minute. To give me some hints onto what's happening. The 1 hour is great for showing you longer term stuff, but I want to know the shorter term as well. And getting in on the 15-minute time frame on some basket trades could really help me get out of trades a little bit quicker, so we're not holding on to them for longer. And as you guys know, that the longer I hold on to trades, the less likely it is to profit. I mean, that's just should be common sense. That the longer it goes against you, the harder it is for you to get out. So the attempt here is to enter trades at the shorter term pullbacks, and to try to get out of these some of the negative trades a little bit faster. It shouldn't affect much of anything. I don't think it will change how much I profit. It's not going to make my strategy more risky. But I only see positive a positive outcome with the slight changes that I'll be doing here. So just using the 15-minute time frame as a bit of a tool. We're using my same trigger candle, the inside harami, or the railroad tracks as well that you could call it. Right now we're in a bit of a drawdown. It's not much. It's just 7-8 pips at the moment. So I'm looking at the 15-minute time frame. I'm going to be checking to see if there's any inside candles that I can jump back in. If they're too close, probably won't take them. I'd like it to be anywhere from 10 to 15 pips above where it is from my first entry, and then possibly do a re-entry for a small pullback on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so yeah, watching the pound USD. Now, so the two trades that I took this morning. Let me go to those now, just to show you guys what I did and how things are going. So we took the 2 Euro CAD trades, and those were buys. And I'll get into those in a second. And then I took a sell also on the Euro US dollar for just 6 pips. So the sell was based on an inside candle right here after on the 15-minute time frame. I just wanted just a 5 to 7 pips on that move down. So I guess I took a small scalp, and it was a pretty clean move. There was also this move here, and then that caused me to exit my trade for 6 pips profit, including including the spread. Not including the spread, sorry. So the Euro CAD, I was on that trade for quite a while. I took it based on the 4-hour chart. So you'll see this push down here. Now this is a textbook looking trade for me, with the high up here, the low here. Initially it was down here, so the new low here with the inside candle and it being bullish. So inside bullish candle here, and looking for a small bounce there, a retracement. It did end up going lower a bit, but when it went lower, so my entry was taken here, which I'm going to mark right there, and then it went a little bit lower. But what I saw was this candle here, so this bullish engulfing candle, slightly engulfing. It was slightly higher than the previous open. I still liked it. I took a second entry. It was pretty close to my initial entry. It was only about 12 pips, 11 pips, so it was pretty tight. But I liked it, and I knew that was a pretty strong level. There was a whole number here as well. So whole number at 44. So 1.44000. And then the candle on the 1 hour showing me. So I liked it. I chose it, and I re-entered, and it worked out really well. So just waiting for the pound, and there's a couple more trades that I'd ended up not taking. In particular the odd USD. Now I showed you that there's some news coming out on the Australian dollar. I didn't want to take this trade, even though it looked really good. So I'm looking at this new high here, the inside candle push down, and I saw it happening. I ignored it though. I was looking at entering in this area after this candle happened, but because of the trade balance news at 9:30 tonight. Sorry, today's Tuesday. The GDP at 9:30 tonight. I didn't want to take it. You know, the GDP is probably fine. I mean, I still had roughly 10 hours before that would come out. It's just still cutting a little too close for me. So I avoided taking the trade. There was an engulfing candle here, so this would have been an entry too, and then this would have been your second entry after that. And no matter where you entered in this area, this would have been a profit, no matter what, because if you would have entered here on this first trade, change the color. So if you would have entered here, you would have entered here on the second basket trade, and it would have gone down. You would have hit profit on both. Let's see what else. Nothing on the Euro Japanese yen. There was this trade that happened. I think I was on holiday, so I wasn't checking too closely this trade, but it looked really good. New high. Harami candle inside. Entry on the next candle. And I would have shot for 30 pips on that. You know, sometimes you miss trades when you're on holiday, but that's fine. You can't take everything. There was the trade on the odd Japanese yen. It was a weak Harami. It's not really a strong trade here, but I would have considered taking it. Okay. Let me see. I'm considering actually getting rid of the NU pair, any of the NZD pairs. I'm actually considering just dropping entirely. I'm just not liking them. I haven't taken a lot of trades on them. Just not liking what I'm seeing. I mean, there was a trade in this area here. It was a profit, but the pairs just are just really tricky to trade. This would have been 30. This actual position moved 30 pips, 39 pips. CAD Japanese yen, inside candle here. Also, when I was on holiday. It was 35 pips move. So I missed some trades, guys. You know, it happens, and they looked pretty good. All of them did. And I would have taken at least a couple of those. But like I said, on holiday, and so what can you do? So, yeah. We're looking at the M15, and I'm going to keep watching that on the M15 time frame to see if I have any opportunities for more entries. And I'll just play this out. We're only in 17 pips drawdown. And that's it. So if you guys don't have any questions for me, let me... If you guys don't have any questions, I think I might end for today. It's just not a whole lot going on yet. We're still just coming out of the holiday. There's a ton of news this week. We just have the news in 10 minutes. I guess I could wait for that news to see what happens, and then end after that. So for the next 7 minutes until that news comes out, I'm going to show you something that I'm looking at, guys. So I finished testing without any errors on this EA that I've created. This is the EA. It goes from it trades on the euro US dollar. This is on using done on a this test was done on a IC markets demo. So I think it's a 400 to 1 leverage. So unfortunately, this is something that would need to be used on something other than Oanda with 50 to 1 leverage. This EA trades best on a 400 or 500 to 1 broker. It does trade on a 50 to 1, but it's not as profitable. It needs more leverage. The drawdown is not. It's fairly high. It's 43% on the relative on the maximal drawdown, but what I'm looking at is the relative drawdown, so the 50%. It turned $10,000 into $163 in 16 years. So starting in 2000, didn't have any losses. It was straight profit through that whole time. Doesn't mean that it will continue to do that, but this is with the 90% modeling quality. I'm going to try to see if I can get this up to 99. I think that there's a possibility to do that. I'm going to try to see if Hans has any tips on how to get that to 99%. And I'm going to need to do some live testing. I need to test for about 2 to 4 weeks at least to make sure that this EA is trading correctly. Because as you know, back tests can give you a really good idea of what to expect, but some things may be a little different. That's why it says 90% modeling quality. It's 90% of what you could expect. So there's still 10% room there for error. There's also, it doesn't take into consideration the change of spreads, although I set the spread to 2 pips for this test. And you can see I started out even on a $10,000 account at 50, so 0.50 lots, and it's a semi-martingale strategy. Semi-martingale means it goes up. So if you're starting with 0.1, it's going to move up to 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 until it comes out with a positive basket. The profit's pretty good. If you go into the analyzer, we're getting some So moving on the pound here, guys, 38 pips. Remember, this is only the 0.05 lots, and I'll be looking again on the 15-minute time frame for any possible bounce back or pullback. This could be an anticipation for the news coming out on the USD. So while that's we still have 3 more minutes. So this is an analyzer. If it's, let's see. So this is the overview of the back test that I had running for it, and it shows you the stats. So what's expected, list of trades, the equity chart as well for the EA, and what the lot sizes look like and the volume. So it's looking pretty positive. Shows here what to expect net profit for the year in each year that it was tested. So things are looking good, but I still need a bit more before I start using it live. And I also need to make sure that everybody's okay with me using this in the potential future. So I'll keep you posted in the next 2 to 4 weeks on any updates regarding that, and if I decide to use it or not. All right, so the Euro US dollar is still kind of flat. We still have 2 minutes before the news if we see any action. But the pound is definitely taking a leap on many pairs right now. Pretty much all of the pound pairs, especially the pound Australian dollar. So we'll wait another 2 minutes. Let's see if there's any questions. Hans, yeah, I'll check the file once I'm done here after this news comes out. So at like 10:05. So the next 5 minutes, maybe we can talk a little bit. Ryan's cable trade is in trouble. I don't think I'm in trouble yet. We are in one trade, and that is not it's not showing in trouble yet. Yes, I'm down 36 pips, but I'm in really low risk at this point. Yeah, but Hans, I wanna know how to use it better. Use that software a little bit better, just so I know a little bit more about how to use it, since you know how to best use that. Yeah, Robert FX, I would have to use this on forexbrokerinc.com in order to use the EA. I won't be able to use it very well on a 50-to-1 leverage account. So we're bouncing. Wow, this must have been pretty drastic. Let's check out the news. So it was pretty negative on the Euro US dollar. So pretty drastic. Let me pull up the numbers. Yeah, I wasn't expecting much from this, but since it's pretty negative, so there's a 4-point difference there. And so we're looking at a bit of a jump. And right now on the Euro US dollar, it's only 23 pips, but it's gonna hit more on the pound since it's more volatile. So we're looking at right now that the highest point was 56 pips. And the highest point for the euro is just 27. So it's not a whole lot. The bounce isn't a whole lot, but the difference is definitely noticeably negative, and so people may ride with us a bit. How much, I don't really know. So I'll keep an eye on it. I don't think I have a lot more to cover. We're in pretty small right now, my next trade will be a pretty important one. So I'll make sure that it's in at a good point. And we're in profit for the week. Things are looking decent. And I'm just going to check for any extra questions. 60-minute man, yes, I will check that out. Thanks for posting that video. A JBOG 45. The EA looks for no, it does not use the trigger candle. The trigger candle is not Harami. So the entry, it actually looks for a more extreme condition. Basically like an extreme overbought, oversold condition, and then it uses a grid trading strategy if the trade ends up going against it. So the first entry, and it's not basket trades. It's not basket trading after the first entry. It's actually based on the grid. I can get more into the detail once if I decide to start using this EA. But until then, I don't think it's necessary, because I think that people are deserve to know if I how this EA trades on the account if I am using it. But at this point, I'm not. So until that time, I will keep things pretty limited on details. Thanks for posting the video again, 60-minute man. How would we get trades from your EA? So I would have to set it up so. Well, there's a couple of things I could do. I could still run the EA on the Oanda account, but I'd have to tie it in. But the best option for me would be to tie it into my Forex Broker Inc. account and do it that way. But if you guys wanted to use the EA, you could also use it on a higher risk on your accounts. If I'm using it on a 50-to-1 leverage, I'm gonna have to use it on pretty low profit settings on that account because the leverage is so low. And that also it will affect if I use it or not. If I can't find a good method to have trades copied to my users through another broker, then it could hamper me using the EA at all. So a lot more I guess testing and thought needs to go into if I want to use it or not. Okay, guys. So, unfortunately, the pound is still going against us at 57 pips. I don't see any indication yet that it's going to reverse, so I'm going to hold out. The Euro US dollar is still continuing to bounce. It's at 50 pips now, so it's moving. With a negative PMI, doesn't happen too often unless the numbers are pretty negative, and they were. So. That's what we're seeing. We're also seeing a drop on the yen, the correlation pair, and another jump on the Australian USD. So we finally got some volatility, some needed volatility on pretty much every USD pair, and things are finally moving. Yes, the USD Swiss franc is also a correlation to the Euro US dollar. You will see, Armin. That's why I'm watching the M15. So typically what I'd be doing, so I'm going to give you guys a rundown. Typically what I'd be doing is I would be looking for a second entry, which I don't have a pending order set yet. But if I want to do a pending order and looking for support resistance, I'd be looking at... I'd probably be putting it right there. I'm going to mark it. So this is 100 pips above my entry. I like that support resistance area, and I feel like that's the next one. That's 106 pips. And right now, we're not too close to there yet. And that's on the 4-hour chart. So we're still about 55 pips away from that area. I would bet you I would take an entry on the M15 before that level is even hit. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to just cut things short. I don't think there's no need for me to go on. I don't have a lot more to talk about. You've seen my entries. You saw what trades I took. You see what I'm in now. You see the progression from this week so far. And we're looking fairly positive. Yes, we're in a little bit of drawdown, but it's not big. We're in really low at this point, and looking for a place to re-enter. So, anyways. All right, guys. I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, we'll have some more profit. All right, guys.